Guys, I am so anxious and nervous right now. I can't believe I'm about to do this. I have never done anything like this before. I'm about to give an original story that I wrote to 1,000 AI editors, and they're gonna rip it to shreds. Okay, I'm about to push this button. Right here on the screen is a short story that I wrote. It's a little piece of my soul, I guess. And right here is the button that will send it to be judged, dissected, and probably humiliated by 1,000 unique artificially intelligent editors. Here we go. And while that machine is ripping my story to absolute shreds, let me tell you what the hell is actually happening. Why would any sane person subject themselves to this? It's a fair question. Every writer, every creator knows the feeling. You make something, you pour your heart into it, and the moment before you show it to someone is pure terror. Yes, you want feedback, you need feedback to get better, but you're also afraid of it. You're afraid of the one-line email from a friend saying, yeah, it's nice. You're afraid of getting notes that are completely useless. Or worse, getting notes that are so brutally, devastatingly correct that you want to crawl into a hole and never write again. I started thinking, what if you could get all the feedback you could ever want all at once? The good, the bad, the brilliant, the insane. What if you could get the wisdom of 1,000 different experts, from Pulitzer-level gurus to the most nitpicky copy editors on the planet, all synthesized into one master document? So basically, I built my own bully. A very well-organized, data-driven bully. With the help of Gemini AI, I created a custom GPT I call 1,000 editors. The key is in the name. This isn't just one perspective. It's a composite intelligence of exactly 1,000 discrete editorial personas, and each one is a unique combination of three things. First, domain mastery. We've got fiction editors, academic prose experts, UX copywriters, legal analysts, even poetry mavens who care way too much about enjambment. Secondly, we have an editing specialty. This is their job. Are they a plot logic surgeon looking at the big picture, a dialogue polisher, or a fact checker who will call you out for putting the wrong type of oak tree in 18th century France? And third, and my personal favorite, is personality quirk. Because what's the point if it's not a little spicy? We have cheerleaders, drill sergeants, stoic monks, comedians, even a sarcastic marketer. I generated 1,000 of these unique combinations. Name: Ada Arks, the relentless minimalist fiction editor; Benoit Bite, the deadpan statistician for technical docs; Chira Klang for poetry. It's an entire army of editors. When I feed it my story, it doesn't just read it once. It dispatches it to all 1,000 of them in parallel. They score it on everything from readability metrics to something called AI burstiness, which I'm frankly terrified to learn about. Then it synthesizes all of that chaos into one actionable report. So the machine is ready. And the lamb for the slaughter? My weird little story, Skyfish. It's about a little girl on a playground when fish just start falling out of the sky. It's supposed to be whimsical and strange. Let's see if the robots agree. Okay, it's done. The results are in. My screen is lit up with the collective judgment of 1,000 digital minds. But before I dive in and see how badly they savaged my fish story, I want to let you know that you can subject yourself to this exact same process. I put a link to the 1,000 Editors GPT down in the description. You can try it for yourself. All right, no more stalling. Let's see the damage, starting with the executive summary. Skyfish hooks immediately with a clean, uncanny premise. The first fish fell from the sky, and sustains escalation through precise cinematic beats. Fish, bigger fish, sharks, and then the whale. The century writing is vivid. Dirty emerald crown, flat, wet thud. I like how it's picking certain sentences from the story. Stephen King once said that nobody asks him about the words, and the words are so important when you write them yourself. Okay, keep going. The child-centric lens feels fresh, and Randy's fiery hair heroism provides a tender human core. Okay, it's nailing the things that I wanted for a reader to take away from the story. The piece definitely balances awe and menace, closing on a sweet, playful grace note. Want to play Fish Aliens? Where the draft stumbles. All right, here we go. And I haven't read this yet. I'm reacting to it in real time. Here's where the draft stumbles. The diction occasionally tilts older than Jolie's close POV. Eldritch, ecstasy. Okay, that's fair. A few continuity logic questions surface around why Jolie is left outside, and there are several copy usage slips, her and Randy. Faint scene of pizza. Oh, okay. Present tense intrusion. Okay, yeah. The tense is That's probably supposed to say faint scent. And yep, so the tense problem, every English teacher I've had in my life has told me that I have a problem with switching tenses, so they nailed me on that one too. We also saw an opportunity to sharpen Jolie's internal arc by foregrounding a simple want in paragraph 1, to be seen, to be brave, to make a friend, and playing it off more explicitly when Randy acts. Line trims will heighten pace, some repetition of flop, flop, flop. Yeah, I did repeat that several times, so maybe it's something I could reduce. And a selective smoothing of figurative language will keep the tone squarely in Jolie's register without losing the story's magic. I think this is all good feedback. None of this kind of constructive feedback I think is ever that great to hear, other than I do think it'll make for a better story. Overall, this is a vivid, marketable, magical realism vignette with clear upgrade paths. Gotta upgrade it, right? Align diction to BOV, clarify the abandonment beat, fix small errors, and plant a seed of yearning to bloom at the climax. Opening image and closing image already rhyme beautifully. A few surgical edits. Surgery, that's what it feels like right now, will make the resonance sing. Now let's go into the top wins. This is where I got things right. The escalation engine purrs. Each drop raises stakes from odd to existential. Editor number 6, this is where it'll pick certain editors from the 1,000 and give you like a sneak peek into what they said for your wins. So editor 6, this is the persona, Burl Build, applauds the confident structure. Fish, sharks, so they like that build, which is something I really thought about building into the story. Vivid micro images land hard. Dirty emerald crown, flat wed thud. Editor number 16, Diana Detail, calls these keeper lines, which is great because again, we go back to the words. Words really matter to me a lot, and I think to most writers they do. Randy is memorable in one stroke. Flamethrower on his head, and a heroic when it counts. Editor number 11, Caleb Cadence, love the momentum of his save. That's nice to hear. We're going to get to the top fixes in a moment, but let's focus and sort of soak in the positivity for a moment. Okay, the opening line is a clean, irresistible hook. Editor number 1, Ada Arcs, says it promises wonder without over-explaining. The ending restores wonder with play. Editor number 36, Iris Impact, love the emotional reset. Nice. It really feels good to hear, from 1,000 editors, some wins. Now, let's get to the top fixes. These are things that the 1,000 editors really want me to fix. A cluster of 172 POV style specialists. So of the 1,000 editors, 172 that specialize in POV and style flagged this problem. Adult coded diction, eldritch, amphibian ecstasy, inscrutable, as out of sync with Jolie's lens. Adjust to kid proximate metaphors. That's very fair. So I need to probably lower the language reader level or usage level for the POV character. Makes sense. 158 out of the 1,000 editors that focus on structure noted a logic blip. Why Jolie remains outside when others go in. Clarify her separation beat. So yeah, there's got to be like, what's motivating this action? Is it just curiosity? Is she sort of forced out of moral obligation to be outside as the fish fall from the sky when everybody else goes in? What's the motivation? So that's important. That's a great catch. Okay, 143 out of 1,000 line editors spotted copy issue. That's not great to hear. And a tense shift. Yep. Okay, 126 pacing specialists recommend trimming some of the flop, flop, flop repetitions. 97 sensitivity and realism readers suggested either justifying Boo Radley as a shared read with dad or swapping to a kid age reference. I referenced that in the story, so yeah, I'm trying to clarify that. Maybe that'd be great. Here's probably my favorite part, other than the positive top wins, and that is the action table. And the action table is cool because it doesn't just list issues and why that issue matters, but it gives a concrete fix on exactly what I can do or you can do to fix the story. Plus, it lets us know if this is a macro fix or a micro fix. So let's just pick apart. I'm just going to read a few of these as an example. Let's go with the first one. Macro level. The issue is clarify why Jolie is left outside. This is something we've already brought up. Why it matters. Reader logic snag during peak tension. So the readers might wonder, why is she staying outside when everybody's going inside? And the concrete fix that the editors are suggesting is add a 1 to 2 sentence beat, freezes, door slams, Mrs. Fincher miscounts, or Jolie chooses to keep watching. She didn't think the thin overhang before realizing she's alone. Okay, so just clarify that, make it make sense for the reader. Okay, let's go to a micro level fix. And the issue is tense consistency. The why it matters is a smooth flow of sentences and reading. Change, for example, she's pretty sure one said the F word to she was pretty sure. So she is pretty sure and she was pretty sure. It's just a simple fix, very quick, but it gets rid of that problem immediately. That's why it's called an action table, because you can take action right now. And there's even some nano fixes down here. Let's go with another macro one. Align diction with child close POV. And why it matters is tone, voice, consistency. So we can swap eldritch and ecstasy and inscrutable for concrete kid imagery. Something like a zillion slippery toys going crazy. Yeah, that's something that a kid might think about, that has personal experience with. So there's an example of you can just swap that out and fix that. That's pretty cool. Another macro is the Boo Radley reference. And why it matters is age realism. The concrete fix could be justify as a book dad reads to her, or change to a kid familiar book or movie called like Monsters, Inc., and keep the mysterious and misunderstood idea. Okay, I like it. All right, these are action tables, things that you can really quickly do, take action on immediately. Then we have a story elements checklist. And we have a check mark if everything's good with that element. We have a caution sign if there's something that could be done to improve it, and an X if something is just completely wrong or missing. So with plot, we have escalation lands cleanly from fish to well. The character, Jolie's want can be surfaced earlier for a crisper arc. So just her motivation and intention. Lots of green check marks, which is good to see. And then in description, we have a caution sign. So a few lines read older than POV. So swap to kid proximate images. Okay, great. Patterns and insights. Our market team, and they list some of the editors, see strong middle grade magical realism appeal akin to Animal Rain folktales, but your restraint keeps the mystery intact. The image system is coherent. Sky-sea inversions, reflective eyes, rubber versus grass textures. You repeatedly contrast institutional order like teachers, doors, tanks with feral wonder, flopping choreography, culminating in kids reclaiming the weird via play. Tightening POV diction will unify tone. A single stated yearning will convert this from a gorgeous vignette to a mini arc with catharsis when Randy pulls her through the shadow and later invites her into the game. And then to make it even more simple, next steps and quick, that's supposed to say quick wins. So I don't know why it says quick wins. I'll have to see if that comes up again and fix that. Do action table row 1, 2, 3. Bam, knock that out. Apply rows 5 to 7. Make diction swaps in the shark whale sequence. Great. Decide Boo reference approach. This is what you can do step by step. If you're wondering, like, what do I do first? Do these things first. Standardize your style choices and final proof pass. So that was a lot. It's like getting a full developmental edit, a copy edit, and a peer review from 1,000 of the smartest, most pedantic people in the world, all in about 3 minutes. But was it worth it? 100%. The brutal truth is, this feedback isn't about me. It's about the story. It separates the artist from the art. It takes all the emotional baggage out of the editing process and just leaves you with the data. And the data says, my story has a great hook, a confusing tone, and a biologically inaccurate gasping fish. And now I know exactly how to fix it. That's it for this video, guys. If you want to try this 1000 editor tool yourself, there will be a link in the description and in the first pinned comment for you to do so. See you next time.